Hi, my name is Madeline Renteria, and I am participating in debate number 2, explaining how economic and other forms of interdependence cannot create world peace. Throughout this debate, I will be focusing on 3 main topics that will help support my opinion. Those 3 topics are liberalism, being optimistic and positive about progress, as well as on ideas about war, Republican liberalism through the ideas of democracies being positive, and finally, international law through the concept of protecting civilians. To begin, in Unit 3 lecture presented by Professor Ripley states, liberalism is not utopian, and utopian is described as an idealistic state or a state striving to have everything perfect. Coming from personal experience, and I'm sure many agree, nothing in this world is perfect, including ourselves and the world around us. To me, when I hear the term peace, I think of calmness and everything being good. However, that must be a reason why I hardly hear the word peace, because in my opinion, everything is not good in this world. Liberalism is thought to be an optimistic view on human progress that, according to Isaac Newton, is a linear development plan of progress. I want to focus on the progress liberalism had on war. For example, the billiard bill approach resulted in states clashing with each other. However, there is no longer clashing, but instead external relations. External relations aren't always peaceful because it leads to interactions that may not always be beneficial between both states, and more specifically, external relations could lead to a win-loss situation that may result in selfishness and strive away from achieving peacefulness for both states. My second topic that I'll be bringing up to support my opinion is Republican liberalism. Through Republican liberalism, there is the idea that liberal democracies are more peaceful and that there are peaceful expectations, yet ideas and expectations don't create peace because they are just thoughts and ideas rather than plans put into action. Republican liberalism seems to focus on citizens and that they call the shots. In the liberalism lecture, Professor Ripley states, war is not an interest citizens carry, and I agree. However, although it isn't an interest of ours as citizens, war seems to happen whether we want it to or not, which doesn't result in peace, but could lead to chaos and possibly even more conflict. Through Republican liberalism, it appears that there are always ways to handle the matters before it leads to war. But in my opinion, someone will still want to fight or go to war. For example, in the video we watched about Mearsheimer describing how China may be a conflict for the US. Mearsheimer believes China is a threat against the US because they are another powerful state. Yet, we still have soldiers overseas and are still taking precautions to be prepared in case war is declared. Just because it is being kept under wraps, the preparation for war, does not mean many of us are at peace about the idea of war happening, because it still may happen, and therefore, where will peace be? The final point I want to bring up is international law, which seems to highlight and be about the rights citizens have. We as citizens have and are entitled to rights. They cannot be taken away unless under punishment. For example, we all have a right to bear arms, which is existing to us based on our Second Amendment. However, is peace existent when the right that we have to own or bear an arm, such as a gun, is used to harm fellow citizens? Referring back to my definition of peace, meaning being at ease and everything being good, I do not feel at peace knowing anything could happen to myself or fellow citizens because of this right we are entitled to. I feel peace could be created through this right if there were stricter regulations placed in order to bear an arm. If international law is about protecting citizens as well as their rights in order to help establish peace, then there should be a balance between protecting citizens and their rights as opposed to our rights being protected instead of just ourselves. In conclusion, liberalism and other forms of interdependence cannot create peace because external relations result in one side losing instead of gaining, leading to unpeaceful disagreements. Republican liberalism believes that war is not in the interest of citizens, yet fighting will always lurk in the back of someone's mind and will always be an idea that someone may want to have. And finally, international law tries to establish peace by protecting the rights of citizens, but fails as there is not a balance between protecting citizens as a whole and their rights separately. Peace can never exist because there will always be conflict. There will always be disagreements or never seen eye to eye. But at least we understand how we can try and strive for a peaceful country to help minimize anarchy in the world. Thank you.